Shalom, brothers and sisters. It's your brother Yahweh Sabah. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Peace, salutations to the whole full leg, scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth, learning and teaching this gospel of truth and sincerity, waiting on the second coming of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Shalom. Today I want to get into news and prophecy again. So, to get this article right here. A union representing nearly 150,000 auto workers launched a strike early Friday morning against big U.S. automakers General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis. So we see, this is an example, showing uproars. This is at a small, matter, but they're calling out the elites right here of this world, man. So let's get this right here. Look at second Esdras, chapter 9. He answered me and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou see part of the sign pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of people in the world. And we see this is what's going on, in these last days, a high level, of witnessing these things on earth, earthquakes, uproars of the people, so on and so forth, fires, and a lot of sodomite behavior on high levels. And we're seeing judgment, and then this MOTB is around the corner. So we know it's almost time, through Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. We know Esau too. This is Job, chapter 20. I'm going to start at verse 17. This is Job, chapter 20, and verse 17. He shall not see the rivers and the floods, the brook of the honey and butter. So he's not gonna have no joy no more in what he got in his blessing. He saw even the so-called white man, his fatness of the earth. He's not gonna be able to have joy in it no more. Verse 18. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. He's gonna have to give back what he works for, So come. It's all gonna come back, to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and the elect, when the kingdom of heaven on earth is established. So going to this restitution right here, that which is exchanged, substitute, recompense. So it's gonna it's coming back, to rest this restitution, restored. It's gonna be restored back, everything that Esau, even so-called white man, labored for is coming back to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the elect. He's not gonna have no rejoicing. He's not gonna be have that joyness in his wealth, because it's all gonna come back to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and his elect. Verse 19, because he hath oppressed and had forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he buildeth not. That's what Esau Edom does. Verse 20, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. Yeah, because this man is never satisfied. Like verse 19. That lines up with Micah chapter 2. He takes houses, and what he builds, which is not his, which he builded not. So yeah, like I said, he's never satisfied. He's gonna recompense is coming back to Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Verse 21. There shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Yes, so he's in the fullness of his sufficiency. He's going to be in straits. You know, that's ultimately, talking about this new world order. You know, he's going to be in straits in the fullness of his sufficiency, because it's not gonna prosper. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them. And we get into this word wicked. You know, the laborer, the sufferer, the wretched one, the laborer, the workman, the sufferer. And ultimately this is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Americans, you know, so Khan, and Hispanics. So yeah, this is mainly talking about you, but also this ties in, also Esau's people. You know, these Edomites, not the elites. You know, they're these modern day Edomites. You know, they're calling out the elites as well. You know, so Khan. Yeah, so let's get this verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Yeah, so Khan, that's what's gonna happen. You know, he right when he's about to fill his belly, when he thinks he's about to fulfill his new world order, Yahweh Shem Yahshua is gonna cast that fury of wrath upon him, and it's just gonna come upon him while he's at eating. When he least expects it as well. So we know, like I was saying, you know, it's our people too, but Esau's people are getting ready to rebel against this ruling class too, and it's already here. But we see like those who believe in this in this system are gonna be like enemies of this new world order, and then they're gonna see the downfall of that they shouldn't have trusted in it as well. Our people, of course, not Esau, Edom, not these Edomites. You know, this gospel is not for them. But all I'm saying is too, because we know these Edomites too. You know, they believe in this Bible. You know, so anyone who believes in the Bible, though, they're going to be enemies of the New World Order at the end of the day. And then we'll know who this, like Scripture say, they shall know who are my chosen. So then we're going to know who are the chosen. And Trump's just a snare. You know, he's working against, he's working with the elites, you know, and he's just a snare that will work against the elites as well. You know, we're going to find out at the end, you know, who are really his chosen, like I'm saying, and they're gonna see Yahweh Shem Yahshua's power, you know, and these devils are only doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua at the end of the day. You know, there's soon gonna be no more Edomites on this earth. It's Isaiah chapter 14, verse 18. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out thy grave like an abominable branch, as the raiment of those that are slain, thus through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden underfoot. Yeah, Khan, verse 18, you know, he's sent to their lands. That's what that's getting into. Verse 20. I'll just read 19 again. But thou art cast of the grave like an abominable branch, as a raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden underfoot. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of the evildoers shall never be renowned. You know, because you know that they're gonna have their rulership taken away. You know, and you know, that's what that's getting into. You know, because they're not gonna be able to prosper. They're gonna fall. So, Collins, verse 21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. They do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against him, saith the Yahweh of hosts, cut off Babylon the name, and remnant, and son, and nephew, saith the Lord. Khan, see, these Edomites are going to die off, like it's showing you right there, people are going to receive judgment for the iniquity of their forefathers. So this is all a reincarnation, it's saying that you cut off from Babylon the name, remnant, son, and nephew, saith Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So their seeds are gonna be cut off from the place of the earth, like Obadiah chapter 1 goes into it as well. Let's get this one. It's Psalms chapter 21, verse 8. Thine hand, that's Yahweh Shai and the holy angels, find out all thine enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee. Thou shalt make them as a fury oven in the time of thine anger, and Yahweh Shem Shah shall swallow them up in his wrath, and fire shall devour them. Their fruit shalt thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. For they intended evil against thee. They imagined a mischievous device, which they are not able to perform. Yeah, and this device is that New World Order. They're not going to be able to perform it. Then they're going to be destroyed off the place of the earth, off their seed, like I was saying, from Isaiah 14, and then their seed among children of men. They're going to be cut off the face of the earth. So let's get this one as well. Isaiah chapter 44, verse 24. Thus saith Yahweh thy Redeemer, that he that formed thee from the womb. I am Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that maketh all things, that stretcheth forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself, that frustrateth the tokens of the liars, and maketh diviners mad, that turneth wise men backward, and maketh their knowledge foolish. Yes, so it's that's what it's going into. That's what Esau Edom does. He's the one that is that token of liar, that's being frustrated. The diviners are mad. Let's get this in the NLT. I expose false prophets as liars and make fools of fortune tellers. I cause the wise to give bad advice, thus proving them to be fools. Yeah, he causes the wise to give bad advice, just making them, their knowledge foolish, so can't. See, these are a token of liars. It's also like in the NLT, it's going into false prophets as well, And, like the scriptures say, that their tongues will fall upon themselves. And we see that happening in these last days with these modern day Edomites going against the elites. Lifting up their skirt and exposing and making Esau bare, as the scriptures say. So this is Psalms chapter 64, start at verse 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Yeah, so they make a diligent search on us. They're watching day and night. They got surveillance everywhere. They got all this technology. It's part of his blessing. Esau Edom's blessing. Verse 7, but God shall shoot them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. So they make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away, and all the men shall fear and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and shall trust in him, and all the upright in their hearts shall glory. So we see right here, it's getting into these people are considering, and it's just the beginning, their own tongues falling upon themselves, and these people are going against them, So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he's going to be there for the righteous, and they're going to trust in him as well. And that's how you're going to receive that glory from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to shoot with arrows. It's going to shoot them with these missiles. That's what's coming. these ICBM missiles, and the ones left over are going to go into slavery. And then after that, then after their slavery's up, then they're cut off the face of the planet of the earth. Like I was saying, their seed's going to be cut off. We see like the World Economic Forum, they're pushing insect eating. It's all part of this New World Order, man. Like Yahweh Shem Yahshai were revealing their hand. We see, right here, let me get this one. They got RoboCops in New York. See right here, NYPD RoboCop to patrol Times Square subway station 5 days ago. So we see this is being pushed right now. They're showing it what it looks like. That's that RoboCop. This is all part of the New World Order agenda. That's all by design. So the econ. This they're saying that it's gonna reduce stealing. Yeah, that's what they're gonna say it's doing. At the end of the day, it's all this martial laws is getting near. That's why these immigrants are here. Like I said, it's all by design. It's a setup because they're gonna bring more and more immigrants, and it's just gonna get out of control. And then the military men would take over. Biden, he was also giving them, getting them work. Biden administration speeds up work permits that can help thousands of mass immigrants. So we see right here the Venezuelans, are 172,000. See how that's a lot of immigrants, and he's giving them these work permits to work. So it's just to take more jobs away from Hebrew, these Hispanic, Latinos, and Native Americans, so on and so forth of our people, these so-called Hebrews, these so-called Latinos, Native Americans, and Negros, Latinos, Native Americans, and Hispanics. So that's what that's showing right there. That it's just to take more work away from our people. That's what to get us off from making money. To make us poor. And then so you're gonna have these troops. These troops, UN troops from all around the world on the streets who don't care about you, and then you got RoboCops on top of that. And so this is all order out of chaos, what they're pushing, and it's just only going to get worse, because, it's going to be more than just a RoboCops, at a subway station. It's going to be it's going to be worse. This is just the beginning. And they're going to get like some AI robots that are like Jake, fast and hear everything with AI, just like in that movie iRobot. He comes out the womb speaking lies when he says it's just going to be at a subway station. Con. Yeah, so there's another one right here that I want to get. It's Somalia's digital IG revolution. So Somalia begins issuing new biometric digital ID develops with NADRA's help. So we see what's going on right here. That Somalia is, issuing this biometric digital ID. And when Esau, the so-called white man, went to these African nations. Some are rebelling, but most of them are puppet leaders set up by Esau. And then this whole world is getting to come under this digital ID. It's coming, this platform, CBDC, which is going to lead to the MOT to the B. It's just like in the time of Nimrod, which means rebellion, the Tower of Babel, the place they were pushing that, that type of one world order, and then they're pushing this as a form of peace and safety. This new digital ID, See right here, the national ID system will not only bolster security, but also pave a way for inclusive development, financial empowerment, improved governments. It is a shining example of NADRA's commitment to excellence and our dedication to our global partners. Yeah, and that's why they're saying it's pushing this peace and safety. Saying it's a bolster security for them. That's what this is what it's all leading to. That because they're gonna know what the people believe and think. And you're gonna have to have a social credit score to be able to travel at the end of the day, to be able to go from place to place. So Khan, let's I'm gonna get this YouTube video as well. Here's the Kenyan. You're right here.
A lawmaker in Kenya is raising concern over the WorldCoin digital orb that was scanning thousands of Kenyans' eyeballs. If you remember, we talked about it a few weeks ago when the Kenyan government banned WorldCoin from scanning Kenyan eyeballs, and it's due to privacy, and they didn't believe on their security, so they banned it temporarily at least. So currently the parliament is talking about WorldCoin and their project in Kenya, and a lawmaker raised a valid point. Member of Parliament Shakil Shabir brought up the complaints when Health Minister Susan Nakumicha appeared before the parliamentary committee, and he said, quote, "I have 5 cases who have written to me who claim that after this scan they felt great discomfort. Their eyes were in pain." The response from Ms. Susan was that the orb had not been brought into Kenya as a health device. Its infrared flight had not been tested, so she urged Kenyans who may have developed health issues to seek medical help. The results are expected to come through by next week, so we will know what exactly happened to these Kenyans that have complained after getting their eyeballs scanned. Most of the conversation about WorldCoin is usually, why are they scanning eyeballs? What are they trying to do? Because they claim the reason why they're scanning our eyeballs for money, by the way, they pay you $50 in a digital cryptocurrency if you
So that's a bribe right there, and then these leaders allowed it, for Esau Edom, the so-called white man, to get in there. Kenya shouldn't have allowed this, for these Edomites to come, to do this in the first place. Just like Jamaica, they shouldn't have allowed those devils to come as well and buy land. But money talks, and the love of money is the root to all evil, as the scriptures say. And then they have that power. Esau Edom, he has this power because of this money to buy out leaders and to get what he wants at the end of the day. And she said that $50 digital currency got these got them to do this. To get these people in Kenya to give their biometric data to them. So let's get this in the scriptures. Proverbs chapter 17. In verse 23, a wicked man taketh a gift out the bosom to pervert. Salaki, a wicked man taketh a gift out of the bosom to pervert the ways of judgment. So they go throughout these countries and send economic hitmans to buy out governments, so on and so forth. And if their leader, who is not down with the agenda, this New World Order agenda, he would disappear, or he will get in a plane crash or die, so on and so forth. And no one knows what happened to him, or they make it up like saying he got shot all of a sudden. And then they're going to set up a puppet leader that will follow that agenda. Just like in Niger, they're telling the French, those sellouts, that they that they're not with it. That they that's why they set up these forming coups, all these uprisings against these devils, because they're wicked. And people shouldn't partake in this AI system. One guy came out about it, saying that he gave up his biometric data and then information, and then he signed up for it, and then he looked on TV and he seen his face, as an AI robot at that Chargers game. That's what I heard, so I'm going off that, and there's a video on it too as well. I'm gonna get this video too as well.
How much did we make today?
$5 million. The Army says that it will be 15,000 recruits short of its 65,000 recruit target. The Navy says it will be 10,000 recruits short of its 38,000 recruit target. The Air Force says it will be 3,000 recruits short of its 27,000 recruit target. The Marine Corps is the only one that says we will hit our recruitment target, but it's been a struggle to do so. Now, according to the Pentagon data, only 9% of young people said that they would consider military service as their career. That's down from 13%. Said that they would consider of young people said that they would consider military to do so. Now, according to the Pentagon data, only 9% of young people said that they would consider military service as their career. That's down from 13%. That's not even 1 in 10. The Army says that it will be 15.
Talk about men are not. We see right there, like a lot of people are not doing it. They're not being recruited. A lot of people do not want to do these recruits. A lot of people don't want to be recruited. We can see right there to be in this military, and then we're gonna get into that more. I just wanted to get that for right now, just for edification's sake. But what I was gonna get as well is the man, Yeah, man sees his.
It's damn near 1,000 people at a time. Every time I go live, it's almost 1,000 people watching this, and they want to know what's going on. I'm telling y'all, bro. I don't care if I gotta go live every day to expose these folk. They done got caught. Fuck, I give a fuck, man. I'ma die anyway. I don't care nothing about them folks catching me slipping, lacking. I'm up out of here. Get what? 1,000 people. I did it for y'all. If I'ma sacrifice anything, bro, I'm sacrificing it right now, letting you know right now. Hey, bro, on your way up out of here, just remember this: what they doing, bro. This is what's going on. I'm not scared. I'm not scared to die. Once you get a really understanding of what life is, damn near one.
Yeah, and it looks just like him. Like I was saying, that's what I said from what I heard. He gave his biometric data, and then boom, he looks at TV, sees himself, at the Chargers game, So like the scriptures say, man, and he said he's not afraid to die for, ultimately at the end of the day, if you don't have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you are gonna be afraid to die. Because you need that true faith from Yahweh Shem Yahushai in order to endure to the end. And even if you died, you wouldn't make it to the kingdom because you didn't die for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So Yahweh Radazah, he comes to the truth. Sirach 12:10 says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Yeah, so that's why you don't want to trust your enemy. You don't want to give up, your biometric data just for a bribe. We just got this one, Proverbs 7:23. Let's line that up. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression make a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. A gift destroyeth the heart. A gift's gonna destroy your mind, man. So that's why you don't want to fall for those wastes. Kenya, they fell for it. This man fell for it. Who knows what they bribed him to give up his biometric data, and then boom, look, they made an AI robot of him. So like I was saying, these heathen, there's also Jake in Kenya, but just ultimately those Hamites, to allow this WorldCoin, to scan their eyeballs, let's continue on to the video.
Get your eyes scanned, they pay you. So it's like whenever someone is paying you, they're getting something in value. But they claim the reason why they're scanning people's eyeballs is because they want to check if you are a human or a robot. Why? I don't know. And they claim that your information or your eyeball scan will be deleted after a while, which a lot of people don't buy this. And this were Kenyans just a few months ago getting their eyes scanned.
The exercise, which was launched last week on Monday, involves scanning one's eyeballs through an orb in exchange for a digital identity called World ID. The process involves 3 steps, where one interested in signing up shows a scan code to the orb, then the phase for iris scanning, and wait for the orb confirmation. It takes about 15 seconds to become a certified human. New members receive 25 free cryptocurrency tokens, known as WLD, after getting their eyeballs scanned. The tokens are currently valued at approximately 8,000 Kenya shillings. The process has, however, raised data privacy concerns, with the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner issuing a caution against using WorldCoin amid concerns about crucial data collection. Data protection experts have also sounded an alarm over the exercise.
By the way, this is not just in Kenya. Over 2 million people have gotten their eyeballs scanned all over the world. So it's not just a Kenya thing. They're also in Uganda. In Uganda, they're still not banned, and they're scanning people's eyes and giving out money.
So Uganda too, and all, like she said, all around the world,
People I also saw on Twitter that they have done this eyeball scanning a while back, but they never received any kind of money, and they don't know how, the cryptocurrency works. And, because they're not giving you the actual money, it's in their currency. How are you even going to get that? Because most of the people I have seen and I have heard that went through the process, it's because they wanted the money. It's because they were desperate. They're like, what do I have to lose? Like, I need money right now, and if they're going to pay me, it's fine. I mean, if they're going to take my information, I don't care. They're not really thinking long term. They're really desperate to get the money right now. But unfortunately, we don't know what they're going to do with that. Like, you're literally giving them part of you. The same with DNA. That specific eyeball or what you have is what they might use in the future. How? I don't know. And that's the reason why we should not allow this to happen, because we don't know exactly why they're doing this. And on top of that, paying us really raises a red flag, in my opinion. But anyways, fam, let us know down below what your thoughts are about.
Yeah, because paying you, that's fishy. Like she's saying, it's too good to be true. It's coming after the poor. Like Biden, he went around, to these other nations to push that jab, so it's nothing new under the sun, and then you seek the poor, because they're desperate, they want money, they're jobless and poor, and hey, that's happening over here too. We're jobless. A lot of people are jobless and poor. It's just going to come in a bigger scale, and they're going to present it to the people, and they're going to fall to the snare, which is it's going to be that MOT to the B, and this is no medical disinformation. This is just for edification's sake. I don't want to get flagged. I'm going to right here. Australia is doing it as well. Yeah, Australia unveils plans for universal digital ID and AI task force. So this is gonna go around global. This is what's gonna be pushed over here in Babylon the Great, known as America as well. This is a draconian measures what are going on. So this is this is what's going to be pushed off, and they're going to set up things all around the cities with a new task force. And you're going to have social credit scores, and AI will pick up thoughts, and then they'll track you, and you can't be able to go on an airport unless you have a good social credit score. It's just getting more and more demonic, going towards this new world order. Come on. He says, we have been urging federal government to adopt a digital ID to improve service delivery and interoperability and with other departments and states that will benefit all Australians. So it's pushing as peace and safety, that this is going to help for the better, for the better cause, Come on, let's get this other one.
Good evening. Restructuring of Canadian mayors and municipalities under the auspices of the United Nations began in 1992. PM Mulroney signed Canada onto UN Agenda 21. Canada thus became a UN member nation state. 178 countries signed on, lured by the promise of big money to go green. By 2000, countries, including Canada, were being governed by directions of the UN, G7, G20, World Economic Forum, and World Health Organization, to name some. Every organization named is a foreign-based NGO, non-governmental organization, and every member of all these organizations is unelected. Parliamentary procedures for law changes weren't followed. In 1994, a municipal primer was issued to all local towns outlining how they were to restructure their governments. Though the municipal primer was a non-binding agreement, all towns adopted it. Our public officials, the mayor and councillors of that day, were partnered with a private corporation, the Corporation of the Town of Aurora, who appointed a chief administrative officer who helped implement the global agenda instead of a local one. The International Council on Local and Environmental Issues, ICLEI, became the main source of consultation to push and fund the global agenda. We remind you that the World Economic Forum and the United Nations signed a strategic partnership framework in 2019 to jointly accelerate the implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. This is the same World Economic Forum whose chairman, Klaus Schwab, famously declared, "You will own nothing and be happy." This is the same Klaus Schwab who, referring to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, boasted, "We have penetrated more than half of his cabinet." We would ask Mayor Marakis and the councillors, why should the citizens of Aurora bow down to the intrusive dictates of an unelected foreign entity? The fact is we should not, and we will not. What, you ask, does any of this have to do with 15-minute smart cities? Absolutely everything. SMART, S for surveillance, M for monitoring, A for analysis, R for reporting, and T for technology. Technology News editor Patrick Wood, 50 years of experience and expertise on technocracy, wrote, "The 15-minute city is a cover for data collection bonanza for technocrats who design and operate them. Cities designed for maximum efficiency always reveal technocrat thinking that efficiency itself is the goal. Maximum surveillance allows for maximum control to achieve even more efficiency." At its very root, this mechanistic thinking is anti-human. The 15-minute city narrative seeks to fool you in the guise of saving the planet, keeping you safe, and delivering convenience. It's actually the gateway to digital IDs and CBDC, central bank digital currencies. CBDCs allow bankers and or governments to freeze your bank account because you happen to peacefully and lawfully protest and express your disagreement with government policy. Anyone remember the truckers' convoy in Ottawa, February 22, when the government of Canada invoked the Emergencies Act and froze the private bank accounts of law-abiding citizens?
Showing you they have the power to freeze your account through this central bank digital currency. This man is just exposing them, going against these elites, man. Like I was saying in this lesson.
Cities are wolves in sheep's clothing. Don't believe the countless stories spewing forth from the 24/7 basis from the elitist captured mainstream media, all claiming to have your best interest at heart. We have been burned too many times. In reality, 24/7 surveillance through the Internet of Things inside your home, 5G and LED streetlights outside, monitoring and tracking and recording everything. Implementation of exclusion zones and geofencing to restrict movement and travel. Ability to
just like the movie Minority Report.
Control behaviors through military-directed energy technologies. Property and car ownership to be outlawed. Evictions from farms and rural areas to gather people into cities. Digital passports being promulgated by the UN, World Economic Forum, and the World Health Organization are in the final stages of planning and implementation. They are tied to social credit score, which is determined by compliance to government directives. These
Just like I was saying, your social credit score is going to be tied to your digital passport,
passports
deciding whether you could go or not on a plane.
control all access and all aspects of life. Digital currency is being implemented to end cash and monitor all your spending. Your
Monitor everything to end cash.
digital currency will be turned off or on depending on your compliance score. UBI Universal Basic Income is a state-controlled allowance forcing compliance by restricting access to food, money, services, and education. All of the above will enable climate lockdowns to be implemented easily, arbitrarily, and indefinitely. The real
Just to push climate lockdowns, he's letting you know.
agenda of 15-minute smart cities is to monitor and control everyone and everything. In summary, in the coming days, Council will receive an electronic info packet which will contain the text of this delegation and other items. We, the citizens of Aurora, wish to enter into a meaningful, respectful dialogue with our elected members of Council on this complex, important issue. A key framework of that dialogue is a list of questions posed to Council. Can Council explicitly guarantee that citizens will remain free to travel as is their right under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms? Can Council guarantee not to restrict access to essential services, medical care, bank accounts, government pensions, utilities? Most importantly, we, the citizens of Aurora, need to have the conversation with Council about exiting their non-binding agreement with the private for-profit entity known as the Corporation of the Town of Aurora. We need to turn back the page to a simpler time when open, transparent municipal government serving its citizens and working in their best interests ruled the day. We are your equal partners on this journey. Thank you.
Yeah, so we see right there, Aurora says no to 15-minute cities. That going up against these elites, man, they're putting their foot down. Like I was saying, letting them know, lifting up Esau's skirt with this wickedness here, this New World Order agenda he's pushing. Let's get this other one, this hailstorm that happened. This hailstorm affected 22,000. Sluggy. Yeah, so this hailstorm affected 22,000 hectares in Valenciennes, causing more than 43 million euro in losses. So the damages mainly focused on regions of UT La Requena and Camp de Torilla, but were also damages in Ribera Alta and Ribera Baxia, Camp de Mavaduri, La Serenia, Las Costera, as far as the province of Valencia is concerned, as well as on the south coast of region. So the main crop affected was citrus with 43% of the losses, followed by persimmon with 20% and wine grapes with 16%. Approximately 1/3 of the grapes expected for the season in the affected area of municipality of Requena and its villages have already been harvested. So we see, affected the crops as well. Like that's what it's getting into, 43 million euro in losses. It's judgments from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It's all prophecy, plagues. Let's get this one. Second Edges, chapter 15, start at 13. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. So all this is happening, through Yahweh Shem Yahushai in the heavens, and it's resulting in all kind of things happening on earth, and these elites are being let loose by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into the city and not be able. And that's in 15-minute cities, like what we just went into, what Aurora said no to. those 15-minute cities. You know, you're not going to be able to go to another city. It's going to be a section, you know, they'll know if you're trying to go into another city or zone, you know, and that they won't let you. So you can't, you know, that's why at that time you want to really have that covering of Yahweh Shem Yahushai when that all gets implemented, you know, because we're seeing this sedition among men, you know, and it's only going to get worse. You know, they're not regarding the kings nor the princes. They're not regarding these elites. You know, you've seen Aurora right there. You know, that was an example. You know, and like those 150,000, like in the beginning of this lesson. You know, and these leaders are you know, more and more witnessing it, man, because this is all prophecy. You know, then they know that Yahweh Shem Yahushai, they know the true names, these elites. They know that prophecy is being coming to pass, you know. And, you know, we're all witnessing it as well. The water Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, spoil their goods, because of lack of bread, for great tribulation. Yeah, and that's what's coming, a famine. You know, we've seen right there, you know, judges from Yahweh Shem Yahushai just lost them to lose their crops, you know, and you know, a lot of crops, you know, that's just all leading to famine, you know, like crops being, you know, getting destroyed as well through plagues through Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, and this is what we're all going through, and we're through Yahweh Shai, you know, we're witnessing this. You know, this is all coming to pass, and it's just gonna get more and more come to pass, you know, to be fulfilled, you know, because it, you know, like verse 19 will come to pass, you know, Yahweh Radazah sooner than later, you know, when they will be destroying, you know, houses with the sword and spoiling their goods because of lack of bread and great tribulation because of that famine, you know, and the great tribulation, that's Jacob's trouble, you know, and you know, the houses with the sword, you know, that's the modern day gun, you know. So let's get this precept too as well. I want to show, like, there's a lot of UFO sightings lately going on. This is a UFO sighting map. So it shows you where they're being sighted at. Historic UFO. Looks like around the Los Angeles, like near Los Angeles. Historic UFO. Historic UFO. We know these are the angels of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, they try to make it seem like it's aliens right there. But it's not. Incredible footage shows UFO flying in the skies over Nevada. You know, here's another one right here. See if I can get it. Yup. Researcher shares a video of UFO sighting in Nevada. Yeah, because mostly, you know, these UFOs, they're out here, you know, in Babylon the Great, and then, you know, and they're in Russia. You know, I didn't make a lesson on it, but Russia, you know, there was recently, you know, the UFO was over Russia, you know, their base, and then they controlled the missiles, and they moved the missiles. You know, they were playing with those, with Vladimir Putin. You know, he's playing with him. Yahweh Shem Yahushai through the angels, showing them that they control everything, that they move the missiles, like you know, and they can press that button if they want to, just showing that, you know. So this is let's get this precept. It's book of Isaiah, chapter 31, verse 5. As birds flying, so will Yahweh Shem Yahushai of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. We see right there, that's how we're going to be delivered. The second Passover, passing over, will be preserved. The covering from these plagues, entered into that new covenant when the chariots return with Yahweh Shem Yahushua and the host of angels. And then that's why we're trying to make our calling and election sure, trying to endure to the end, hoping that we would be saved. Yahweh Radazah. So this is Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 1, the flying scroll. Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. It's talking about chariot. What did Elisha say? He said that there is more chariots than them. Roughly paraphrasing. So you could look at it as saying that Elisha saying that there's more chariots than Esau. Because he thinks that what he has, is better than these chariots. But it's not. And that's why you got to have this faith. Verse 2, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof of 10 cubits. Salakia. Verse 3, and then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, for everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as one. Salakia, as on this side, according to it, everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on the side according to it. As Esau, even the so-called white man, the one that stealeth, and the one that one that sweareth, Khan. These devils, just getting into it, these other nations too as well. Psalms 83, our enemies, starting with Esau, even the so-called white man, they sweareth falsely, they stolen everything, man. Verse 4, and I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and it shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. So Khan is getting into, right there, that's what's going to happen. That's ultimately the end game for Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, these other nations. This place is getting ready to be destroyed. Come on, because and then we know the ones left over, they're going into slavery, man, like I was saying earlier. And then Esau, Edom, after slavery, he's cut off the face of the earth, like I was saying, So Khan, like I showed that TikTok, like Navy, they're not getting their recruitments. I think they had a drag queen was their recruitment person. Like, who would want to join that anyways? If you're having that type of wickedness going on. The U.S. Navy expects to be around 6,000 in sleeves short. And I just showed that TikTok video is going into it, how only 9% wanna join. And let's get this precept to follow up with this. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. They become as women. They have burned their dwelling places. Her bars are broken. This place is through. This was once their power. Navy, this military force they had. This is once was the top. It's a lot. Esau's blessing, that sword, it was once at the top, but now it's not. It's becoming obsolete. It's falling. It's falling day by day. Their military power, their military might is getting weaker and weaker. These militaries are being weakened by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, ultimately to be destroyed. Nobody wants to sign up for a military no more, because that's why they're gonna have a draft at the end of the day. It's like all by design. Like they had as well. I can't remember off the top, but that's why they're gonna have this draft. Like say, Ukraine, they're pushing to drafting women. So I'm not saying it's just positive, but hey, they could be drafting women out here. I'm just saying, it's not. I'm not saying that's for sure though. But I know they're gonna have a draft of men. That's for sure. You know, but yeah, like a child, you know, as well, they're also pushing that he can have rights now to say what gender he wants to be. And if the parent doesn't agree, you know, if he says no to it, the parent, the mother or father, you know, that the kid could be taken away. You know, and then in that New World Order book they had, you know, it goes into that. That was one of their plans by doing that as well. You know, so let's see if I could look that up. California lawmakers on Friday passed a proposed law that would inquire. Yeah, so it's a proposed law. You know, that's what I meant to say. It's a proposed law that would require judges in the state to consider a parent's acceptance or affirmation of their child's gender identity when weighing child custody disputes. Yeah, so that's what that's getting into. You know, like it's a government power grab. You know that they can't have children, so they're gonna come after everyone else. You know, so these parents aren't really gonna have a say. You know, to the child's gender identity. That's that proposed law. That got passed on Friday. Yeah, so this is you know, I want to get into this. They're having a government shutdown as well. It's happening. Yeah, so what the government shutdown, you know, saying that Congress triggered a government shutdown on October 1st, 2023, because it is not expected to pass the 12 appropriation bills that fund government operations before the start of the new fiscal year. You know, so we see like right there, you know, it's then, you know, there could be a possible government shutdown, you know, because if it doesn't reach its type of deal by September 30th to increase the debt limit, because we know that debt limit, like I showed in my previous lessons, it hit 33 trillion. So the government could be facing a shutdown if it hasn't came with the deal, you know. So it tells you going into why government shutdowns happen. You know, you could read into this, you know. You know, so like, you know, benefits such as Social Security and Medicare continue to flow because they are authorized by Congress in laws that they do not need annual approval. You know, but although the services by Social Security Benefits Office may be limited during a shutdown, in addition, the Treasury can surely continue to pay interest on the use. So it's saying that that the Social Security benefits will be limited if the shutdown happens, you know. And the shutdowns can be disruptive, leading to delays in processing of applications, passports, small business loans, government benefits. You know, it's just gonna those government benefits could go away. It's what it's getting into. You know, it's saying it's gonna be a delay on it. You know, so once all hell breaks loose, you know, if this happens, you know, this will hopefully this happens to be one step closer, you know, to getting up out of here. That's why we want all hell to break loose, like I'm saying, you know. So you know, the government, you know, they would be able to shut down, you know, this shutdown is just gonna take away benefits, like I'm getting at Salakia. You know, this could happen October 1st. You know, so it's gonna be getting rough in these last days. You know, so that's why they could shut down this government assistance aid. You know, and so government shutdown will affect Social Security payments.
So instead of cutting into our profit,
like I was getting into.
A government shutdown is looming as Congress is unable to reach a deal on funding. Americans could feel the impact as soon as the first day of the shutdown. Insider reports thousands of federal employees would be furloughed, and that means staff would be severely limited when it comes to administering a range of programs millions of Americans rely on. Social Security payments will continue to go out. The problem comes to those needing a new card or dealing with overpayment issues. The Biden administration warned a shutdown shutdown could mean that low-income mothers and children might find themselves without the aid from the Special Supplemental Nutritional Program for Women, Infants, and Children. Close to 7 million mothers and children could risk losing that assistance as states are forced to make waiting lists. Then there's SNAP, commonly known as food stamps, which would continue for at least the month of October, should there be a shutdown. With just a handful of days until the end of the month, lawmakers are still scrambling to find a solution that enough members will vote on to keep the government funded, but the clock is ticking.
Yep, so it's showing you that WIC,
when you're a small business owner, every little bit counts.
So instead of cutting into our profits,
GoDaddy has the lowest fees in the business. And we can take payments online and in person.
So you're not going to get that now, if this shutdown, like that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to get this the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, and then I'm going to wrap this up because my boss was calling me Salakia, so this is what's you women, relying on this aid, that it's just not gonna you can't trust in Babylon, as the scriptures say, woe to you that go down to Egypt for help, roughly paraphrasing, so this is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women, Salakia, rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Yeah, so rise up, you careless women, because you women are careless at the end of the day. You don't care about nothing but what you got going on. Your way or the highway. And that's all how these women do. They live lavish. She that liveth in pleasure, is dead while she liveth. Roughly paraphrasing. And these type of women, it's all about to be over. You're about to get that wake up call. Verse 10, many days and years ye shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail and the gathering shall not come. And that's those benefits like I was just getting into, that SNAP, that food stamps, and that WIC, that's not gonna, I think it was WIC or VIC, Salaki, I just can't remember. We just went into it in the video though. Those benefits won't come no more, and then it's gonna be famine, MOTB, so on and so forth. That's what's gonna come, the MOTB and the famine. So Salaki, first MOTB, then we can, that famine is gonna hit. But we know for us, we would have to go through that famine during that time of MOTB too as well, because we're not gonna take the chip, but we're gonna have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But yes, so Khan, these wicked women are given to a portion, to a wicked man, roughly paraphrasing. So Khan, continue on. Verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins. That sackcloth, symbolizes mourning. That's that state you're going to be in. You're going to be in mourning estate. Verse 12, they shall lament for teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. And when all hell breaks loose, you women are going to be lamenting for all this, these ways, like hoping it was good. These ways, you're going to wish that it was back to the old ways, when the economic, everything was good, the economy was good, so on and so forth. So it's time to repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So shalom.